What is going on, everyone's? We are here and we are back with another episode of
Is My Point Valid?
Yes, indeed. We in this thing, and as y'all know, I am Brandon D.
And I am Camille A. Stalker.
And the topic for today is going to be
Black fathers, deadbeat or beat down?
Now, first off, I want to say, we all know that there are some deadbeat daddies out there. There are a lot of them.
A lot.
There are a lot of people who don't want anything to do with their kids. They just want to be out here smashing and passing. But there also is another side to that, and that is what we're going to discuss today. So that other side is mothers. There are a lot of mothers out here who are pushing rhetoric, saying things, pushing hate, and a lot of other foolishness to their children, which keeps them from wanting to see their fathers. It's crazy out here. And I'm going to say, for me personally, I have dealt with this. And let me first just say, I love my mama. I really do love my mama. And I feel like that is one of the reasons why I fell victim to this. Because when we were younger, so a little backstory, my dad, he obviously had a relationship going with somebody else when we were younger. So he went to Korea. Once he came back, he never came back.
I was going to say something, but
Go ahead. What you got?
No. He was an adulterer.
Yes, he was. Absolutely. And that goes in me saying that I know he's not the best person,
right,
but he wasn't the person that I perceived him to be based on what was told to me. So when he came back from Korea, I think I was in like the sixth grade when he went, he never returned. And then we found word that my mother told us he found another family. But what actually happened was he found another chick. Mm-hmm. He was out here doing his thing, and I guess he fell in love and fell out of love with my mama. But I say all that to say that there was a lot of things told to us as children that kind of swayed our minds into believing that my daddy was a deadbeat. And one of those things was my mama, she began to tell us that my daddy left us. So this whole time I'm thinking my daddy abandoned us. Mm-hmm. He didn't abandon us. What actually happened was he fell out of love with my mama, divorced my mama, but he never divorced us. Mm-hmm. So she would tell us all of the things that he did to her, all of the things that were going on within their relationship. And based on all of those things, we made a conclusion in our heads, me and my siblings, that we no longer wanted to deal with him. Mm-hmm. Well, come to find out, a lot of this stuff had nothing to do with me and everything to do with her. Mm-hmm. So when I finally, because it took me quite some time, because like I say, I love my mama. I would never let anything happen to my mama as long as I'm there. It's not going to happen. So I feel like once my daddy left, I was kind of like a protector. And I feel like she kind of played me with that. I feel like she almost kind of played me because like I say, she was saying certain things. He left us as in all of us. He didn't want anything. He found a new family. So all of these things made me feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. And I remember me being the last one to ever come around and have a conversation with him. Mm-hmm. But when we did get to this conversation, which was later on, maybe 3 or 4 years after, we had the conversation about what happened, and I don't remember specifically what he said, what happened. What I do remember is this. He told us, I did not divorce you. I divorced your mama. And that kind of blew my mind because the whole time I'm thinking he left all of us.
Now, if he would have had the opportunity to say that in the beginning, do you think that would have changed your perspective from the jump?
Absolutely. Because I only had one side of the story. Based on what my mother was telling me, I cut off all communication with him.
Why didn't he say it sooner?
I don't know.
No, I'm just,
Like I say, I had no communication with him. Now,
so he might have tried.
He may have, but I shut all of that down. Mm-hmm. And he may have had this conversation with my siblings, but when it came to him, based on what was told to me from the one-sided party, I probably didn't even want to hear from them. There's a lot of this going on, and it's not just in my life. We see it all the time, even in mainstream people. Tupac, his mama told him
his daddy was dead. His daddy alive. He's still alive.
He's still alive today.
I can't remember who he did the interview with, but he's still alive. He said that hurt him. And there was nothing he could do, because honestly, I think women are like, well, you need to step up. But sometimes women have this, let me say this, society believes a woman more than they believe a man.
Absolutely.
And sometimes a lot of women do cry wolf. And so when you're crying wolf, it's just like, all right, you know what? Because it could have easily been a thing of he go to try and get Tupac, or what any father would try and go get their son, and police are called, and you don't have these rights, and you don't have, like, I
have a sibling that's going through that right now. I don't want to get into that, but these women can really be manipulative, and not just manipulative to the father. They will manipulate the children into believing something. And in hindsight, I can understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. The woman is hurt. Mm-hmm. She's angry, and she wants to do everything she can to hurt that father.
10 years later, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you still...
I mean, you can't put a time frame on somebody's hurt.
Yeah, you can.
And you can.
You suck it up and get over it.
I mean, that's easier said than done.
It's not.
Because we see all of this happening. Like, even that we saw on that story on what was Officer Tatum, mm-hmm. where he did the short where the boy was saying that he's 23.
Yeah.
All of this time, his mother was not only abusing him because he probably looked like his daddy.
Yeah, that's terrible.
She was manipulating him and abusing him based on the relationship she no longer had with his father.
Yeah.
Told him all kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. He wasn't nothing. He don't want you. He wasn't paying. And when he finally came around to talking to his father, he found out this man was paying child support the whole time, and his mama was probably spending that money on herself.
I was watching the Hodge twins, and they were saying, because I think one of the twins was in something like that, like
manipulative.
Yeah. And he was saying that child support needs to be set up to help the child, or it needs to be
directly.
That's what he was saying. It needs to be directly to the child, or it needs to be like a fund set up until they can touch it until, or something but it needs to be directly to the child, because a lot of mothers are not doing the right thing with the money. I
feel like there should be.
Then I don't even think it's a lot of money. Like,
it's not. But if it gets your hair done, your nails done, then that's what's gonna happen. Mm. And I feel like it should almost be a criminal offense, because that's stealing.
It's thieving. It's not yours. It doesn't.
That's not exactly. I'm paying this to my child, and then you're telling my child that I'm not doing anything. So men are constantly being beat down, and there's no consequences on the woman's side of things. It, like you say, we tend to believe women even when they're crying wolf, and there's no consequences once we find out that that woman has been lying all of this time.
Yep, there's none. I've never looked at statistics or anything, but you hear conversations. You see women who get on camera and say stupid things. It's
absolutely.
Just like, you're saying you're holding something back from your child that is very, very important. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, well, I don't have any help, or I want to have 15 baby daddies, and I collect all this money, or I need to go have a baby with every person who you come in contact with. And that's different. Like, it blows my mind.
I think promiscuous women shouldn't get child support.
But how do you know? I think
if you got 5 or more baby daddies, then you are a little bit too promiscuous.
And then it's like child support, right? Let's think about this. Child support. For what? If somebody is genuinely saying, I don't want anything to do with that child or whatever, all right.
But it's hard out here, especially for a woman who's trying to provide for her children. And they think they're equal to men, but men tend to be better one-parent households than women.
But they're telling you, and then let's go to the jump of, when women choose these men, okay? Mm-hmm. Men are blatantly telling you, I don't want nothing else from you.
Nothing.
And so then women try hard to be like, well, I can give you this and I can give you that. He don't want you.
Yeah.
He continually telling you that I don't want anything to do with you. Nothing. And then boom, you have a baby. And then you think this is going to make you stay. You're going to stay.
Yep.
You're going to stay and you're going to do what you have to do. Yeah. Now.
But that's not going to make him like you anymore.
Right.
That's going to make him resent you. And even though he resents you, more than likely he's willing to take care of that child because it's his.
Yeah.
But it's not going to keep him around you.
Nope. And
there's another factor that plays into mothers manipulating the fathers, because she's so angry at him for not wanting to be with her that she'll use the child as a pawn.
Absolutely.
You gonna do what I say, or you can't see your child.
Yeah, this is backwards, and people condone it. Laws condone it. Laws are
and
put into place to condone it.
women know that these laws make it easier for a woman to manipulate. That's why we have men paying child support for a child that's not even his.
Oh wow, you see a lot of those as well. That is.
Because
y'all didn't do DNA tests before you sent this person into prison.
If it's not obligated, then they can play that card.
How is it not? Who is your lawyer? Okay, who is defending this? Because I am all about right. I'm really for right.
Absolutely.
Now, if a person tells me that they don't want anything to do with this, all right, cool, whatever. Go on about your business. I got this, right? I'm not about to hound people. And so that's where I'm trying to figure out, where is this stigma from women coming from? I need from you. But my point is, somebody has already told you, I don't want anything to do with you. You're a fun time. You were a friend. You were this. You that's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's not even about women and men. You set children up for failure, because you set children up to be like, well, why you don't want me? What movie is that? You don't want me no more.
There's a lot of movies like that.
You don't want me no more. We set children up.
Why don't he
want me? Why didn't this and this and this and this and this? And it's just like.
And the mother would tell the child with a straight face, because your daddy ain't
But you both not nothing.
Yeah.
But that accountability part, you both are not anything. So I don't know. It's crazy.
We out here in last place. Women need to be held more accountable for their actions on the side, on the whole child support, keeping their children from their daddies. They need to just be real about the situation. Now, like I said in the beginning, there are some fathers who are straight up deadbeats.
Yes, absolutely.
We're not saying that those don't exist, but what we are saying is,
let the ones who are beat down, who have been beaten down, come up and say, maybe the child needs to be with the dad, and maybe women need to open their eyes and be like, I can't do the best for my child right now,
especially if it's a boy.
I can't do this right now. You need to be. And I don't think that takes away from you going to see them every weekend, or making sure that you're at every school function and involved in everything. Parenting is a two-person job.
Absolutely.
It's not a one-person job.
We see in society today what happens when we have a single parent. For the most part, these children are out of control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if there's no daddy. Without a daddy, I've said this before, without a daddy, because once my daddy left, I went buck wild. I had me as a boy, when I started feeling myself, there was nothing my mama could do to me. There's nothing that she could say to me that was going to keep me from doing what I wanted to do. So, especially for boys, but girls also need their fathers as well, because if they don't have that father figure when they're coming up, they're going to look for that when they get older in a relationship. Mm-hmm. They're going to yearn for some kind of authority, some kind of fatherly love, some kind of manly touch, something. Mm-hmm. So like you said, we are setting our children up for failure when we don't allow the men who want to be in their children's life to be there.
Just be having babies and don't even be thinking, I just want to be pregnant. I just want to be pregnant. And it's just like, come on.
And even the whole sperm bank thing. Women going to these sperm banks.
To become a single mother.
Then you complain about how hard it is out here. But you already knew, because you would also have friends who are single mothers, not voluntarily, and they have told you before how hard it is out here. So you setting yourself up and you setting your child up.
It's just, I think at the end of the day, you have to look at the child's needs, right? What does the child need? Am I going to do the right thing for this child? Every child is a blessing. If you get pregnant, have the baby, or have the baby. And if you cannot, and the father will not, there is adoption. I know it's like, I don't like foster care like that, but that, like, bring the life into the world, and then figure adoption is a very good option. Yeah. Is a very good option, because it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be every woman is turning, I need child support from you, or you're hounding some person, some man who is wanting to do the right thing, but because of the bashing or the being unappreciative, there is this beat down of, you know what, let me just get up and go, and let me go find, and then you look like several movies of like this. What were we watching yesterday? A Family That Prays, and she was like, and daddy left you, and he started a whole new family. And she's like, yeah, your daddy left me, but you don't know what happened in my marriage, right? And so, and so he started a whole new family.
She should have slapped the mess out of doggone annihilation.
She should have, but it's just we are looking like, where did this culture come from, right? Where did this culture come from? Because even when you look at like the 1920s, like back then, when women had babies and they could not take care of them, or the man left and was all like, no, they went to their grandparents where there was some type of stability, right? And there's no
stability with grandparents these days.
Okay. and grandpa was the man and grandma was the mama, but I still grew up in this environment,
a family oriented environment.
Yeah.
Now the grandmama single, the mama single, and they raising single kids. Mm-hmm. We can clearly see that the family, the nuclear family as they call it, is imperative. If not, we have a society of 2023. Where children are running buck wild, girls are shaking their behinds, wearing almost nothing, and everybody's all cool with it. And then when you speak up on it, you speak against it, then you are seen as a coon, a racist, a white supremacist, and all of these other things. But no, I'm just being for real. Like, we didn't have these problems as rampant as they are now before, when the family was valued. now that we have all of these single parents, specifically single mothers, they are contributing to the downfall of our society, because most of the boys who are buck wild out here shooting each other, you can directly connect them to not having a father. There's no recourse for them doing the things that they're doing. They're not scared of their mothers. And then they're hearing all of these things that you're saying negatively about fathers. So they're going out and targeting people who look like black people or look like fathers. They killing them.
Oh.
They have no respect for men.
Got it.
Because you are spewing this rhetoric in their ears that men aren't needed. So they're taking it a step further and they're eliminating more men. Because of the things that you're saying to them.
Wow, never thought of it like that.
It's crazy out here. It's all connected. It all goes back to family and family values. Without that, we have, like I said, a society of 2023 where boys is doing whatever, girls are doing whatever. You even got single mothers in the club with their daughters shaking their behinds together. If there was a daddy, if there was a father and a husband in the picture, you think these women would be doing all of this?
I don't know, because it also depends on the man. It depends on the man and what standards he is.
And I also think fathers, as far as that scenario, I think fathers are to blame because the standard that we have, it has lessened.
Right. That's what you're right. That's what it's anything goes.
Anything goes.
If that's in, I was watching a father and his daughters and everything, and she's 15 stacked. I'm gonna just say she's a brick house. But it was like her attire and everything, and it was. He
over there pumping her up.
I wouldn't say pumping her up, but just letting her be out in the world.
He condoned it.
Yeah. So it's like, and I think it's because, well, if this is what the girls are wearing today, then yeah, do that. But it's not like
he don't want to be the bad guy.
I don't think so. He want to be the cool dad, right?
Yeah,
so
cool, that's the problem, the cool dad.
So that's why black fathers are needed, but there is the thing of teaching modesty, and I'm talking about teaching modesty. I guess you should teach modesty to
Absolutely.
boys as well.
Absolutely.
But teaching modesty, respect,
morals and values.
Yeah. So it's a lot because everybody wants to be a part of society and what's going on. And when you are in the light and you do have this role to play, for the culture, I'm gonna say that for the culture, then you will allow a lot of things. I will not allow a lot of things. Brandon will not allow a whole lot of things, right? In the household that I grew up in, my daddy was not going to allow a lot of things. It was, and you would see that as
you better act like a lady.
You would see that as on a leash or anything. I don't think that's on a leash. I think it's about respect. At the end of the day, it's how are we respecting yourselves? If you don't respect yourself, you can't go out and respect anybody else. I don't care what anybody says.
And you can't expect respect from other people because they're going to see how you're acting yourself, and they're going to treat you accordingly.
And just not even with how you dress, right?
Actions speak louder than words.
Right. You could go out and be in a skimpy dress and be the most respectful person, and then you could be fully clothed and be the most disrespectful person, right? So not really about clothing, but
it's the whole package,
right? So it's really you respecting yourself and you going out and respecting others. And if we're talking about the black community, we respect a black woman more than we respect a black man.
Yep.
And that's not how I grew it up. Our goal was, you respect everybody, right? You walk into a room, you speak, all of those things. But the man was the one. The man
demands the respect, and the man also demands the respect of the woman and other adults. So without that man being there, there's no sense of obligation to respect anything.
Right. Yeah.
There's no consequences. I could talk to a woman any kind of way I want to, because what is she going to do to me?
No, you ain't going to talk to grandma like that now. She going to knock you in the next year. No.
But if there's a man, if grandpa is there, then you ain't even gonna try it.
But sometimes grandpa's not there. Grandpa might have passed away and passed on, but you still have that respect because of what
it was already instilled in you.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and there still might have been, because I'm talking about older grandmothers. Like I don't know.
Back in the 80s.
Well, and then I would say that our
90s.
mothers are like those type of grandmothers as well.
That'll
right?
knock you into
talk
next
crazy,
year.
I'm gonna bop you.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really about respect.
Baby boomers.
Are they baby boomers?
Yeah, I think they are. Oh. I think they are.
I think so.
Yeah, because we're millennials.
Unfortunately.
Per se.
Whatever that is.
That Gen Z and Gen X, boy, we got problems with them, boy.
Whatever
if them
that
is going to be the people that's running the country next, we are in trouble. Trouble.
So, yeah, we don't respect the black father. And then like you said, there are deadbeats, and then there are just ones who are really beat down because it's like, well, how do I lift myself up if people aren't helping me?
And then the system is programmed against you. So it's kind of it's a whole lot of discouraging when you have a woman who knows how to use the system to keep you down.
Well, they know the system better than a lawyer. I was bringing up that lawyer part again
when it best benefits them.
What are we doing? Yeah. Like, what are we doing, and when are we going to change? Just like how everything is working, how the government works, and I like these big company, like how are we going to change all of this? Because to me, a lot of this it all falls into the same category. We try and place things into different categories. Oh, it's white people over here, and it's this over here, and it's this over here, and it's just like
it's all across the board.
All across the board.
We just speak to black people because we know for sure what's happening within the black community. I can't.
But it's happening
it's happening everywhere.
I know we're specifically talking to, I understand, but it is happening all across the board because you see it, like you said when you were saying at the beginning, you see it with celebrities. Kanye West is not the only celebrity who has spoken out. It became a problem because he was a black man and he was not married to a black woman. So that and she is somebody who is prominent, but you have had other celebrities, white celebrities, who have said, "Oh man, she's not," but it's gone. It's been swept under the rug, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's crazy. So it is all across the board, and it all falls into one category. We try and have subcategories and be like, well, this is this and this is blah, blah, blah. We need to stop making excuses like we always say. We are always making excuses and always trying
pointing the finger at somebody.
And definitely pointing the finger. When I will speak to black women like I always do, like, let men come into your life and take care of your children, like if that's an option. If you have a dad, or if he's not a dad, well, you can find somebody. Create black dads, create groups where your children can meet up and y'all can have, conversations and everything like this. And if you're a sometimes dad, then you need to be in the group as well so that you can get encouragement from a full-time dad. Like, these are the things. It's all about togetherness. We can come together for the Alabama brawl. Well, let's come together for our children, right? We want to. Them white people was talking about me. They were wrong. That's not definitely what I'm saying.
And they got what they deserve.
They got what they deserve with the voting chair.
But we need to take it a step further and start to come together on more important things than whooping somebody.
Right. How are we going to whoop this system? Absolutely. Whatever the hell the system is, how are we going to whoop the system and making sure at the end of the day to make sure that our children are good with black fathers and with black mothers together? How are we going to figure out this whole child support thing? How are we going to figure out taking care of being ready for school, knowing respect, accountability, values, morals? What are we going to do to change that?
We need to start today, right now. Let's get it.
Ahora.
Yeah. And I'm going to say one more thing. We need to stop. If you do find another mate, black women, if you do find another mate, don't try to replace the father who wants to be in their life with your new mate. allow them to still be with their father. But if that new man wants to be a father figure, that is okay. But don't let him, or you don't allow him to try to replace that father. And with that, we have come to the end of this episode. I hope y'all got some nuggets out of this. If you got any value from this, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. It helps us grow, help us get our message to more people. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah. And like always, it's love, peace, and soul.
Bye.
Like Soul Train, baby. Chip.